Alright, thanks everybody for joining us for another episode of Danganronpa. We are doing the, I guess, official quote-unquote ending to this case. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I think the other ending was pretty official, but pretty canon, so. Alright.
Okay. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong?
She's not wrong. I have to think about this very carefully. What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie.
Pursue the lie! No.
God damn it! I don't know. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
Oh, so we need a Hina. Maria, do you want to be Hina today?
Okay. Is my mic picking up okay?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
So
On
fun.
my side. Okay. Alright, but who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had her room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
Oh, yeah, is Brandon voicing Toko?
Sorry.
Oh, if you want, I can voice.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right.
I mean,
You-
there's
you
fine.
voiced
not a lot
Toko
of
last time,
there's not a
didn't
lot of characters. now. There's a lot of
Oh,
people in
okay,
the
okay.
game, so like, if you want to voice
I'm
it,
sorry,
you
I
can.
didn't understand.
I don't mind. Like, I don't want to step on your toes if you want to. Like, I can just be
Yeah, go for
Well,
it. Doc.
Toko would be
What?
into
Like,
toe stepping.
Go nuts.
Let's,
You want
let's
me
go.
to?
Yeah, I want.
All right, bring the meme voice back. Come
Meme
on.
voice Toko. Yeah.
Meme Toko, because I know nothing about Danganronpa, so.
It's okay, I don't think any of us really do.
Bring back Elvis
It,
Toko.
gets
What are
cheaper.
you trying to imply?
Yes.
After you spend 30 minutes in Graceland.
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
See how hard this is to process for him. He really doesn't want to do this to Makoto.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's got to be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial? And Kyoko even said it's the trap that Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up.
Huh?
Time's up. Actually, class trial's all over. Everybody can stop talking now.
What? Time's up.
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
Well, it's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then it's now time for voting time, okay? Everybody, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Voting time?
Monokuma, you asshole.
Perfect score.
Yes, we totally
Hey,
saw
nice.
this.
Gotcha super hard now.
It's like the best score on the case we could never solve.
Who will be chosen as the Blackens? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Wait, hold on.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Oh boy!
Nice.
This trial is more of a ripoff than Jake Paul's recent boxing match.
Ha ha ha.
What? You think I'm the killer?
Hey, man.
Oh, you cut out a little bit there.
Oh, sorry, man.
All right, yeah, that sounded like a better apology.
Yeah, sorry.
Brandon?
Johnny Bravo.
Oh, you
Sorry. It's all your fault.
She's not even sorry. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
All right, good job, everyone.
Good job?
Yeah, they got it right.
No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Ah, it makes perfect sense. It's the same as it always is. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way. It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment.
Wait, why do I... Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we got. It's punishment time.
Oh my god. We have to watch it
Oh,
again
yeah.
with him?
CGI.
God damn.
No, 8-bit.
So this just the same, but with
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, I personally wish they did a different execution, but... I guess it takes a while to set these things up. You couldn't just, you know, say, oh man, we're gonna have change the theme.
Yeah, I know, it does take, I mean, yeah, it does take a lot of brain power. Just
A lot of tax dollars to put these executions together, so...
Japanese tax dollars.
How are we gonna tell the stakeholders we postponed the execution? The desk is so tight it makes me uncomfortable.
Poor boy, I can't.
I down to anything. I would just like get up.
It's like, actually, I don't know
have to-
about this.
I'm not gonna
I'm
give you the
peace out.
satisfaction of crushing me. You're gonna have to shoot me or something.
There's gotta be hidden restraints.
Alter ego!
Oh.
Ooh.
Wait, serious? Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, you thought you could kill Alter Ego by crushing the laptop? You don't know a lot about
In the
computers.
internet, bitches.
Yes, he did have access to it, so,
Waifus are infectious.
yeah. That's true.
you thought
It's
murdering
a
me would be enough
virus.
to kill me?
But I thought people die when they are killed!
Not unless not if you're OP.
What's this? What's going on?
Hey, what was that?
Yeah, it had to be.
alter ego?
Altered who now? Ego? Is this some kind of stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Ah, damn it, all the hell! I don't believe this!
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
I was behind 5 firewalls! What's that?
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us.
Why are you talking like we've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. That stupid virus is gone now, then it got it. And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. Placed away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied.
Aaron.
I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Aaron.
Aaron's here? Aaron, you just missed Makoto get executed.
Oh yeah, we chose a different option instead of.
Yeah,
Did
Monokuma
we
is the new
die?
main character.
Yeah, he got he got executed.
Like at the
No.
last second, alter ego stopped it or something,
Yeah.
and then now we just like fell down a hole.
Yeah, we fell down the trash pit.
Oh,
Good job, good recovery.
Is he gone?
Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
Huh?
Now, it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What are you talking about?
You'll understand soon enough. I feel like I'm hearing feedback. Very soon indeed.
Oh yeah, that's Kamani's.
The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope Speak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of high privilege. They said that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope Speak a pretty fitting name. There are 2 things you need to attend this school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. Huh? Huh?
Like a recap episode? Like what?
What?
Sort
Can
of.
you go back in
You'll
time
see.
or something?
What? A recap episode? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? Wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in. What the heck is going on? Ugh. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench was invading my nostrils. Blech. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. It's in a vast, dark cavern with without the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. That was just the beginning of my problems. Was I gonna be stuck in there until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. What was the brand on that? Kina? Oh, I can't tell. Kuma? Oh, it says Kuma, okay. It's just in cursive.
Yeah, that's Kuma.
I hate how like cursive is just sometimes like really hard to read. Like look, it's just like a bunch of
Yeah,
like
I know.
squiggles.
Why did we ever learn cursive in elementary school? We never used it.
Everyone's
It looks
gonna
like
use
it looks like a series of M's, unless you like take the tiniest like bit of distance between the U and the M.
Y'all would hate my handwriting.
Yeah. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. I do use cursive when I sign things, but that's it.
Yeah, but they don't have to be able to read it. You just have to tell them it's cursive.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, gosh.
And they're like, oh, okay.
Not so fun fact, but apparently like 7,000 people die every year because of like doctors' bad handwriting on like prescription notes.
Holy
and stuff
shit.
like that.
Oh, wow.
don't know,
I
just
hate
heard
that.
about
Really?
So,
That is some
so
wonderful-
cursive kills people, is what
But
you're saying.
basically, that's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
They're
cursive,
probably
cursive.
all guys actually, because
Cursive.
guys have shit handwriting.
I don't know that. I don't know if that's really a gender
That's
thing.
not always
honestly.
true, because
Not always, but like looking at like student assignments, like papers, like
Okay.
I'm a substitute teacher.
Okay.
You can tell like just from looking at a paper, probably about 95% of the time if a guy turned it in or a girl did without looking
If
at the
it's
name.
got like hearts on the eyes.
LOL, you would be so surprised by my handwriting then.
Okay.
Okay,
No,
but
I
yeah,
can't
okay.
tell. Like
Anyway.
I can't tell the gender of the students handing in papers.
All right, moving on.
All right.
I have some very nice handwriting for some of my male students with like very floral, swirly cursive.
What grades do you teach actually?
I teach college biology.
Yeah. That's
Oh well, college people they'll try
I
harder.
would hope so. Yeah.
Like, you know, like high school and middle school, write like trash. Oh my god.
Anyways,
And he used up the last little bit of his virus strength to do it. So I can't give up now. How do you? And it's a virus. It's like, how did he used up the last bit of his strength?
willpower. Do
Yeah,
computers have will?
I mean,
He
he's
would
not a
still be
computer
there.
anymore. He's a virus.
You know, he uploaded a virus to.
He's
the thing. He wasn't actually.
He's malware ego.
Yeah, malware. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Oh, what's this?
The door out.
That's a rocket in a tank. I don't know, think about it too much. Oh, what's that? Another thingy. This is the desk. Probably the one that fell down here with me. What's this one? Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, he could be like the guy from Baki and just like climb up from the chasm with like his fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would need a bit stronger grip strength. to
Nice.
do
got
Yeah.
it.
But thing is, though, Makoto is one of the physically weakest characters.
I think, yeah, I think so. I decided to look around for some food. Let's look for food in this garbage pit. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm being blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do, I think. In that kind of situation, I guess. Can't be sure, but I think I have at least a full day. I had at least a full day. What? Oh, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting around for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky, but it was just garbage. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly.
Crunch.
What the? The sound pierced my silent isolation, drawing me awake. As I watched the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down here? Something fell from up above. What could it have been?
Is it the iconic
Let's
scene?
investigate.
Is it the iconic scene?
Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that tumbled down here with me.
A giant piece of trash? Rude.
Oh yeah, let me mess with voices again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, boost the voices up.
Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
This place smells awful.
There it is! The iconic ramen head Kyoko.
That's where that cosplay came from. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected.
What are you doing here?
So,
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you.
I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair.
Ugh.
She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished.
Thank you! I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my
That's
mouth
a
and
really
making
good
its way
choice for
towards my
someone
stomach.
who's been starving. Hydration, simple carbs.
Whew, that really hits the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going.
So you still haven't given up then?
Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at.
But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
so
To pay a debt, or no, to atone.
The town?
you.
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything.
Because I saw the future. And the future wasn't bright. So, you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you.
Don't say that. You didn't abandon me.
No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However,
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost.
Why did you have to survive?
it's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to
In
survive
other words,
is so that I can do. Sorry. Is so I can do what I came to this school to do. That's very specific, Kyoko.
And what's that?
I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason.
What's the reason? So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
indeed.
That's right. At least I did once.
Once.
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was.
Well, that was a lot of build up for nothing.
God damn it, Kyoko!
You forgot? But that's...
I had no memory of what my purpose was.
no memory. That's impossible.
Amnesia?
Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school?
First thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was.
But what would make you forget all that?
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. This seems much too convenient.
Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory.
But why would they want to do that?
There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the mastermind's plans.
So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean... Somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time.
But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we'd all worked together as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us.
What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right?
The mastermind, one of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me.
But why me?
Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but...
I see. I think I'm pretty mastermindy though. I don't know. Maybe you made a mistake. Your intuition was right though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I... understand.
No, I'm not gonna voice this part.
Understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's... to stay here.
What?
Ugh. That was when he had his fever dream. It's like a flashback to the fever dream or whatever he had when he was sick. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
are you okay?
Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced.
Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Alright, can we leave now? You said you had a reason for doing all this investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability.
You mentioned your ability.
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Wow, I never would have guessed.
Wow, that was
Predictable.
that was a
Shocker.
that was a surprising plot twist. That the girl who deduces everything is the ultimate detective.
God damn.
I honestly would have never figured that out.
Gadget over here.
Hera thought she was the ultimate cheese grater.
The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school.
You had to find someone? Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy.
The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster?
Because he's my father.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Just one whammy after
sorry.
another.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Monokuma is her dad?
What?
No, you. Not him.
How'd you come from Monokuma? I don't understand. Are you a robot?
And y'all
How
ever
did you
seen
come from-
Azumanga the Chio-chan has the cat as her dad?
Yes, I've seen that.
It's like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
I became separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak.
Wow, Monokuma really has a rags to riches story going on. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved.
I'll find a way.
Huh?
No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster. No matter the cost.
Kyoko? What's going on?
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him.
That makes sense.
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room.
Then what did you see in there?
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had to be in there.
You mean the mastermind, right?
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion,
Stop it. No. Sorry. My cat.
I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found.
But why there?
Because I also found this in the headmaster's room.
Is this some kind of map?
Indeed. It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room.
So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors.
So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean.
It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized. Whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined.
What do you mean?
I can't explain it. You'll need to see for yourself. And I'm sure you'll get the chance soon enough.
Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Jesus, how many times we gotta like reinitiate this dialogue?
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building.
Has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either.
I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed.
Get you killed?
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That was the point of the class trial.
I just noticed her collar's like zips up.
Yeah, you didn't notice that earlier?
No, I never noticed that.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
Comfortable for her.
It just makes no sense.
Huh.
It's like it looks like a button up, but it's got like a zipper for the collar. I don't know. That's some like
That metal would like really irritate my neck.
weird J fashion. Yeah, it would. It'd be really
It's
awkward.
Kingdom Hearts fashion. That's what it is.
And you get
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
enough-
Kingdom
not
Hearts
enough-
with
not
zippers
enough
everywhere.
belts. Okay,
Yeah.
not enough belts to be
Need
Kingdom
more
Hearts.
belts and
fashion.
zippers.
Yeah, we need one of that.
it was.
The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly.
You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
Down. Down. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the Clash trial to do it.
The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? Makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What's that?
There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto.
I could have become the victim?
Indeed. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Do you mean during the night?
I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death.
What?
I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this,
anyway,
which is exactly what happened with you.
Are we still talking about ultimates or anime protagonists?
Wait, what?
I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw, oh god.
Oh, sorry.
the rest
I
of
didn't
the
mean to
words
skip that.
disappear. I saw the shadow go into your room. I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
however,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the Clash trial to eliminate me.
So, all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think.
But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, doesn't that also create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Murkuro. They needed the Clash trial to kill me, but seems ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction.
So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair.
The other ultimate despair?
There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person.
It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event.
You're talking about...
What happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
the tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair?
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Then they're...
Make no mistake. They're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy.
Alright, chapter 5 has ended.
I feel like that did not answer anything.
It was like a big info dump that solved
Damn
nothing.
thing.
That did not solve anything, Kyoko.
What is that?
Well, we know why she's here, so.
That's true. We at least know that her father is the principal or the headmaster.
Or is he? Nah, he is.
I like how the soundtrack just picks right back up.
It's like, hello, we're back.
The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. The same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now...
Anyway,
Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after.
Yeah, you're right. I've talked to her again. Kyoko, do you still have the thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the masterminds. I would never part with it.
that's right.
That's right.
And we should be able to use it on that door, right? Stop it. But, hey Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out.
Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it in the keyhole. And then... Yes, it opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go.
Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We're finally free. There wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight just began.
Chapter 6.
Oh my god.
Ultimate.
That's so sad.
We're ready in deadly life.
After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long, I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into the darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were going so far down.
Hey,
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you.
Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kinda nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work?
How long?
so
Ever since I can remember.
Which isn't a lot, right?
Yeah, that's not great for an amnesiac.
I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood.
Wow, it's like Simon from Castlevania or something.
There was a time where being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way.
Then is your family famous?
wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us.
Oh, but how come? It's like your family tradition, right?
Right.
So,
Because we take pride in it.
pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence.
A conscious effort?
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride.
Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, I was looking up info about the school online. I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However,
And yet, I gave up some of that pride.
Huh?
In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true kirigiri detective would never do.
But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
what?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father.
Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There is something I want to say to him, though.
What?
No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face.
What is it?
so
I want to sever all ties with him.
Sever?
Wow, team daddy issues here.
The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future.
however,
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. As young as I was, he left me behind.
I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him.
Wow.
If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective.
I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional.
I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right?
However,
But it's not true. There's one more thing. One thing that I can never forgive.
Really?
so
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
however,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past, in order to remove him from my life forever, I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago.
But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey,
Is blood really enough to call someone family?
Only connected by blood, not by heart and soul. I was so shocked to hear to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence, and after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us.
We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out.
Oh, you mean the hatch that was locked from the other side?
I unlocked it earlier,
Oh,
so it
damn.
should be open without much trouble.
Damn it.
Really did think of everything.
Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. Hatch opened with ease, and so... looks like we're back.
But I couldn't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted.
Can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy, the safest place in the world. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you.
No thanks necessary. I was just returning a favor.
So, now what do we do? Glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen,
You're worried?
Yeah, of course.
so
Then let's just get a concrete answer.
Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping.
Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. And it's not like we can run away.
As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now?
Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared.
The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the masterminds let their guard down.
There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations.
I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we really don't have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going.
Well now.
Hey. Kyoko, okay, don't mind so much.
I do.
But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here?
That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. But now I gotta punish you again. This time I won't leave anything to chance.
Kyoko!
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to.
What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
no.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that it matters to you, right?
Huh? I lose? You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
Because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right?
Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
You reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Black End and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery.
Alter ego.
You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Black End is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right?
That means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying that the Black End is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this?
Well,
No, I can't.
Don't just say it like that.
Well, what is this? A comedy routine? To make such a bold claims without a shred of evidence.
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth.
Well, and now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in this absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Huh?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed. Oh, wait, what?
The ratings would drop.
Oh, they would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Oh man, then I'd have to go back to watching Lil Sheldon.
Oh God, no! I don't need sleep. Okay, I need answers for why you even watch that.
You get like 10 seasons.
That's like the true tragedy is all they have is this and Lil Sheldon.
It's my only thing on TV.
Yeah, they got a lot. They got a lot of seasons.
I think it's still airing. I don't know.
Listen to me.
I'm gonna look it up.
Despair can never kill hope.
Oh no, it's 4 seasons, and yes, it is. Still airing.
Hey,
What's my trigger word?
Of course, you can say that we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat.
And a 4D just shenanigans?
If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice.
So, what's this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say?
Holy shit, Kayla's voice was like super spot on. I just realized. Oh, I love it.
I know, like, there's sometimes I can't tell the difference between the two.
A fair trial, one last showdown, in other words. This would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed.
Barry?
What's wrong?
Oh, I mean, well, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So it's time for more bear jokes. Oh, fun. Okay, so now what you've suggested might be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
Well, if we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? Hibernation! Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms.
Come on, can you mute yourself?
Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Let's have one finally grisly showdown!
He's agreed. And we still have a shot at this.
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just kissing the killer is barely a fitting end.
You guys!
So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here.
All the mysteries?
That's right. Every last mystery that's pawing around the school. But if you can do that,
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you.
it's true.
No.
That's what we've been trying to do all along, before your stupid bear jokes.
Okay, well, good then. Let's bear it all. You can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school.
You guys!
Then you win. But if you can't do all that,
We'll all face execution, right?
Dawn, nice to meet you, but careful with the background noise.
Sorry, your mic.
Sorry.
It's okay. I can barely contain my excitement. And when you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me?
We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair?
Honestly, can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey,
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
What's wrong?
Yeah, I remember that for sure. So what?
hey,
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement.
Yeah, you don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that.
Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations? Which would mean that whoever killed Mukuro...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but... Oh, okay, enough puns. Okay. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but... This killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
listen.
Are you telling the truth?
Why do you go all quiet? Why do you get quiet all of a sudden?
Now I'm really angry!
I'm done talking! I've got nothing left to say to you! Don't get lost, would you? Too many questions.
Why is he so mad?
He seems emotionally unstable.
Jeez, leave me alone! Get out of here!
Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go?
Yeah, I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment, overflowing with despair.
Come on, Makoto, let's go.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep laughing. You can go.
Monakuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling with us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym.
You know that bear paws are a delicacy in China?
Huh.
Wow.
Oh, no.
Could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you.
However,
Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us.
Yeah, true.
But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal.
But honestly, why would the Mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
so
They had no choice but to accept.
Huh?
because
It's all because of that one moment that the Mastermind let down their guard, like I said.
So when was it that the Mastermind let down their guard?
so
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the Mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right?
Yeah, they definitely said that.
listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right?
Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However,
And yet somehow, the Mastermind was able to do it.
in other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult.
A reason?
so
They had to show the world something, no matter the cost. Us killing each other.
They wanted to show the world?
you see,
The Mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that.
Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
in other words,
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other, and show that off to the world.
But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely.
Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept.
You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair. The Mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal as the ultimate despair.
What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
True.
You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
But is that really their only reason for making us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet... That same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weaknesses.
What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The Mastermind had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at the very least,
At least, that's how those... At least that's how those who are watching this would have seen it.
And that's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves?
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer.
But even that didn't work.
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer.
And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion?
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form.
In other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they'd violated their own regulations.
But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your challenge?
however,
Well, it's only thanks to you that we got that chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up.
Still, I can't believe how much of the mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet.
She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief.
To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time.
I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him.
Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy.
Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing.
You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There is no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on.
True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind.
Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible?
Not with Byakuya. Huh?
anyway,
Anyway, right now we have to go find the others.
shall we go?
They're probably in their dorms somewhere. Shall we go?
There's other characters? Thought it was just our
God damn,
two
it's been
characters.
Kyoko this whole time.
How dare you forget about me, the best character in this game?
Been like an hour of just dialogue.
Please, you
What?
couldn't have withstood those bear puns.
Where would they be?
I mean, it makes sense
Question.
that Makoto and Kyoko get so much screen time. You know, Kyoko, being the main female character, and
Let's go to the
The ultimate
cafeteria.
detective reveal was so, like...
That was
we
so.
yeah,
so
like,
bad.
yeah,
Oh
when you're-
man, you're a detective, and oh man, he's your father. I couldn't have guessed either of those.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
it was
they-
really hard not to laugh
well,
at that.
maybe you couldn't have guessed the father thing, but the detective thing was super obvious.
I don't-
I just
like-
heard, like, Star Wars in the background in my head. I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me right now?
They probably should have
yeah,
spaced it out a
since
little
the-
bit.
Yeah, ever since the reaction to the headmaster thing from Alter Ego, I was just like, why are you mad? Because he's your dad or something? Like, what?
Yeah.
And suddenly we were greeted with,
Wow. Scared big yeah, Dupu, Angie,
just
That
cue
was
dial-up
good.
noise.
you again. You again, AOL. Mom, get off the phone! I'm trying to play video games.
Is that an IP address? What's going on?
There's too many iPads.
I mean, the last parts, I think, could be. There's
Someone's
never like
being
3
dumb.
digits in the beginning,
I
right?
can't put the 4 octets. This is 5.
Is he broken?
I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit.
Oh, is that a formula?
Nice.
He is a robot. He's a robot, so he's probably malfunctioning.
Jeez, what the heck?
However,
I wonder what that was all about.
Couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Oh, there goes Aoi.
is that Makoto?
Oh, it's voiced, I think.
Joyce! It is! There's no two ways about it, that's Makoto! Huh? You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that? I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All of my friends who had struggled together and survived. And Byakuya.
Well, maybe not Toko.
And not Toko, yeah. That Toko.
Yeah, I think Miyaka's more of a friend than Toko.
That's true.
Yeah.
Byakuya actually sounded concerned. That was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Byakuya was cute.
He
I
only
loved
called
it.
us a cockroach. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Wait, what's that smell?
What the heck?
Yeah, man, that seriously stinks.
Koto, he smells like wet dog.
Brandon, I can hear our voices on your end.
Yeah, everybody does like
Man,
that.
really?
Yeah, does your headphone malfunction or something?
Or if you
No,
could-
that's really strange.
That's weird.
Okay, well,
I
okay,
have my
well,
mic
it's-
like pointed way away from my headphones.
Sometimes it's easier if you just mute when you're not talking. I have to do that on mine because I get background.
Well, it
Gotcha.
seems to be fine now. So okay.
Here, I'll do push to talk.
Well, Brandon, it seems to be fine now. So
Oh, sorry, and the line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get away! Shoo! Shoo!
And in a flash, my tears dried up.
yeah, sorry, Makoto, but I'm not hugging you when you smell like that.
Makoto.
There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what happened with Monokuma.
Yes.
Explain? Explain what?
But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all.
I need to tell you all about the last class trial.
Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Mukuro's trial.
What? Seriously?
How about that?
The point of her doing it. Makoto killed her, right?
No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer. And of course, it's not me or any of you.
Then, who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is it was all the work of the mastermind.
What? You're saying the mastermind killed Mukuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to do to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto?
You make it sound like it was easy. I just, you know.
however,
But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules. Which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time.
And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules?
They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain the leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared, that's what you're referring to.
Don't be mean.
Totally in the dark here.
For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again. Later.
Alva.
Brandon?
Sorry. So knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Makuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind?
But there's more to it than that, correct?
Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school.
Every last mystery?
But
But we've been looking around all this time and we still don't know anything, right?
anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies.
Oh no!
You kind of peeked there.
Oh, everyone?
That lost a little bit of the pizzazz. I don't know.
It's just the epitome of peeking the mic.
Yeah.
Who said you could agree to those terms without asking the rest of us? I'm fine with the way things are. I'm living here forever with the master.
Give me a can of mace, somebody.
Someone show her the picture.
I think,
maybe it'll change her mind.
It feels like she just ran out of pages on her death note or something.
She does not want to know what the future holds.
No, she does not. I meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway.
And 10,000 miles away from her.
Anyway, at this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth.
Interesting.
In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But figuring out who the mastermind is, and how they killed Makuro, and all the school's mysteries.
It's a pretty tall freaking order.
Maybe, but this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. So if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries.
I'm not so sure about that.
God damn it, Kyoko. Huh?
I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone.
You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
Indeed. That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his...
Hint?
It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But, oh well, okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope Speak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Justin?
Sorry about that. Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable.
Huh? But why?
So, in other words,
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mukuro, as Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in this school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mukuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
in other words,
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students that have been taking part in the killing game.
Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. And in Mukuro and you get 16. So the mastermind would have to be one of them.
that's right.
And of those 16 people who we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue, or do you get it now?
You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
Yes, you were all along.
You can't be serious.
Wait, we can't say that for sure. We can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The masterminds being one of us is also a possibility.
And that is one possibility we can't ignore.
Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must have it must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible.
But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious the time Monokuma was active?
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
I don't care how sneaky you are. We would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right?
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up all the dialogue and actions beforehand.
In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us.
Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation.
Well, maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So,
Wow,
in the
so
name of
meta.
fairness, I will unlock every
I mean,
room
Monokuma
in the
always breaks the
school.
fourth wall.
Look
Yeah.
wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit. Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
What a great laugh.
How many oh god. How very magnanimous.
Oh, I didn't know how
I'm
to say that either.
sorry. How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
You just gotta be more loquacious with your vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
The time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation.
But
I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my family.
At this point, I can rely only on myself, on the Tagami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility. Well then.
after making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall.
Yeah, master. He didn't take me with him.
Hey.
Do you blame him?
You shut up. Without master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream. Without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless.
Cup can be used for lots of things.
Sure, cups are great.
With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall.
And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right.
Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
You know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
I think that one's for the best.
Separating. You're gonna die.
Hiro, I think this one's for the best. I think you should go by yourself.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be fine.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity.
Okay, never mind. Not sus.
you could have used this entire time.
Poor hero.
Oh, sorry, I didn't meant to read that.
Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves?
Yeah.
Well, there's no point in anyone killing each other anymore because of the because of how the rules are being set now. So,
What
yeah.
about you, Hina?
I guess I'll do the same thing.
But
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know?
I mean,
But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else.
You're not useless. If you hadn't been there, I would have died.
Makoto? That's really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own and probably die. Let's go. Okay, see you later.
Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed. Indeed.
So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
So,
That goes for all of us.
I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see this as splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
so then,
Well, I'd better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school had been unblocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school.
We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto, no matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth. By any means necessary.
With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. Still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us. So that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together.
Dang, epic times.
I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mukuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They'd also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mukuro Ikasaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the bio lab, and the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Got a little shopping list of murder investigation places.
Yep.
Alright, I think that's a good stopping point.
Alrighty.
Heck yeah. We did good, guys.
Yep, you sure got a lot of lines this session.
Yeah.
I know, I was not expecting that.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, like I said, it makes sense. You know, it's Kyoko after all.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that I just wound up with this character in the middle of this game.
Just making up for all the time you didn't get to voice one earlier.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
the anime.
statistically, I mean, statistically, you had a decent chance of getting a character that would live, because most of them were dead by the time you came on.
That's totally
They
true.
made it this
I
far.
feel like some people they said that they had to change like 4 times, which is
Yeah.
incredibly crazy.
I, on the other hand, picked my character as well because I already played these games.